And let's thank our sponsors like Inspect All Pest Services, providing the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. Also taking care of that insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. Big thanks to InspectAllServices.com. If you're listening to yesterday's episode, you definitely know why. I'll get to that here in a minute. The Aurora Law Firm, that's the Mad Dog Manny Aurora, the AuroraLawFirm.com, based out of Georgia, litigates all over the United States, criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, and more. Best damn defense attorney in the world. That'd be the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora. Need help? Get help, please. With Ridgeline Counseling, Dr. David Markwell, sweetest man on the planet. He's got 10 therapists in-house, 3 locations in Georgia if you'd like to go in person, but can also do virtual sessions. So anywhere you're at, the good doctor can sit you down. MarkwellTherapy.com or email him ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. FPC Insurance, looking to reshop those current insurance policies, maybe a new homeowner. Maybe after the storm, you're sick of who you've got. Well, I suggest you reach out to FPC Insurance, 888-308-1841. You can always email them, info@fbcinsuranceservices.com. Multi-policy bundle discounts, whether it's for your home, flood, auto, motorcycle, boat, recreational vehicle, or even a personal policy, they can help. fbcinsuranceservices.com. You can get a quote online. My guy, your guy, my wife, Rachel Guy, looking to buy or sell a house in Florida, Georgia. She's your guy, 404-797-4600. Or you can email her, I am RachelGuy@gmail.com. She travels. She packs nicely. Alternate Power Solutions, family owned and operated. They're in Georgia, offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators. They are a Generac generator dealer. Like Generac's like the best in the business for those generators, whether big or small. That's what they do. Amazing what they do. Offering flexible finance, semi-annual, annual service contracts for existing installation, warranty, repair. A+ rating with the BBB. You get a free home assessment if you go to poweringeorgia.com, or you can call them at 770-853-7571. $500 off your entire installation if you use the code Bailey. Save you some Geetuses. Do you need to grade, land clear, mulch, or cut down some trees? JHM Land Solutions. They'd be the ones you'd call. 770-274-9120. Solutions for your outdoor space, servicing Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. Land clearing, grading, mulching, tree work. Muy importante. Cliff Bratcher, Jayco Contracting. Everybody met Cliff at Podcast and Pours 3. He's awesome. That guy's a busy dude. Gutter and roofing specialist. They are licensed and insured roofing and gutter specialists covering all of Georgia. They're platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning. That's the creator of Pink Panther. Free gutter guards, by the way, with the purchase of a roof. Satisfaction guaranteed. Commercial, residential. JaycoContracting.com. That's 770-316-3876. And a live ozone therapy spa. If you are in the Central Florida area, in or around, we are opening October 28th to the whole wide world. Ozone therapy will be the first in Central Florida to have it. We'll offer red light therapy, chromiotherapy, pressotherapy, halotherapy, massage therapy. Also, we do already, it's up, an online store with different products like ozonated magnesium butter, so on and so forth. Put that stuff on your feet and legs, you're out. 2 seconds. It's awesome. We just have to educate everybody in Central Florida what ozone therapy is. It's absolutely amazing. So if you are in and around the area and you'd like to book, AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com. Either way, check out the website, give us a follow on social media, and help us spread the word if you do not mind. Help another small business owner out. If you would like to sponsor the podcast and or radio show, we'd love to have you. You got a message, you want people to hear it? We've got good ROI, as the kids say in the business. Reach out to me, TheBaileyShow.com. Also, if you'd like to sponsor Podcast and Pours 4, we got a spot for you. You can come out, bring your stuff, your tent. It's going to be cool. That's happening Saturday, December 14th with Saliva headlining. Special acoustic show at Elixir, downtown Orlando off Washington. Doors are early. They're at like 4 with Distinct Grace opening up. Get your tickets now. Get your VIP now. Get your hotel now if you're going to stay with the Hilton. All that on TheBaileyShow.com. All right, let's begin.
What do we want to talk about?
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Welcome to the Bailey Show podcast, A guy show women love to listen to.
Intellectually immature nonsense.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS. That's BS.
Okay, then, let's do it.
Yeah, there it is, episode 263 of the BS. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. Right there, that is the Iron Fisted One, Chuck Lunsford. What's up, Chuck?
What's up, Jason? Hey, do you know a guy that has a three-leg parlay with the Dodgers, Lions, and Georgia Bulldogs taking the championships? Because I do.
How much did you win?
I'm gonna win 12,000. It's happening.
12,000.
12,000. Oh,
this last weekend changed my life. I mean, I see it clearly now that I may be the greatest bettor of all time.
So your parlay is if they win the championship. I thought if they just won this week.
No, all three of them. $100 bet, 12,000. Come on, man.
That's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet at all. What was it?
And I'll be happy for a long time. Yeah. So I need the Dodgers to win the World Series, which it looks like they're gonna do that. Georgia Bulldogs. I don't know if you guys saw this weekend. They beat up on Texas.
Oh, I saw that, baby. Hell yeah.
I know you did. And then the Detroit Lions went to Minnesota and beat them. I mean,
took down on the road.
This is looking like I'm going to be rich.
It's a good bet. There's the B-Man, Brandon Thrasher. Hello, B-Man.
Howdy ho. I still got my plastic door back here, keeping the dog and all the little bitches out.
Yeah. Did you make any parlays like Chuck made parlays?
No, I took a break on the parlays. I just I was stressed out enough watching the game, so I figured I didn't want to involve money also.
I'm so disappointed in myself. Like usually I do the betting and I'm into my fantasy football and now that I'm in Florida, I can go online. The Hard Rock is the only online sports book in Florida. They've cornered the market on that, which is fine. And I usually do that. I haven't had time to do anything. Sundays are like religious days for me. I'll sit there from 1 o'clock until 8 o'clock and watch football all day long. And, or 7 o'clock, I'll watch football all day long in my fantasy. And I've won my main fantasy league, the one I care about. I've won that 2 out of the last 3 years. This year, I am convinced I'm sucking is because I don't have time for any of it. Like I literally don't have I don't have time for anything right now.
But you can make bets from your phone.
Yeah. You can never be too busy to gamble. Come on.
Well, no, I'm thinking about using them as my bookie. So you can make bets from your phone in Florida. Like I could just be like, Jason, I'm selling you $500. Here's what I want. And you can do that.
Yes.
That's a game changer, baby. That's a game changer.
Well,
that way I don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't pay taxes. That's his problem.
Yeah. Well, the juice is running. You know what that means, right?
No. What does that mean?
Well, there's a fee for my services. It's just not me making bets for you. So I'll probably take 20%.
And what are you going to do if I don't pay?
Well, you'd have to pay before I made the bet.
Oh, you're one of those bookies.
So yeah, I'm just starting the new business on top of the other one that I'm about to start. Sure, why not?
A live ozone therapy plus sports betting.
No, a live ozone therapy spa and sports betting.
They go together. While you're in the machine, Jason's walking around with his notepad. All right, so what do you want? Oh, you want Dallas. That's a risky bet. Not going to lie, but I like it.
we do it.
There's a 3,000.
Yeah, we do have a TV in the Hockett room, so yeah, you can watch your games. And
it's not a bad idea. You're the first one to bring ozone therapy,
right?
Why not couple it with gambling?
Why not couple it with gambling? Sure, why not? Yeah. Have all the horses up there, and
have a bunch of Indians come beat you up.
Right.
They're gonna torch your store and scalp you.
Seminoles would not be very happy with me. I mean, I'm able to spend time at the poker room. I get up there once a week, but that's just for decompressing. I'm on a bad run lately. Bad run. Just the coldest of decks you could possibly imagine. It starts off good and then it ends bad. And it's not. Before that, I was having a good run, but poker's like that. You have your ups and downs. So just gotta wait.
He said he lost to a guy with losing half his face on Saturday. Dude, half his face was falling off.
No, what I said was, what's worse than losing money is losing money with a dude with a weird face. But I was telling you the story not because necessarily he had a weird face, because that's mean, especially in 2024, right? But I was telling you that because he flipped out when that controversial call was made during the Georgia-Texas game. And because of his face, he was spitting all over the table because he's got that droopy thing and it's like swollen. And he's like, I can't believe the Texans did that stupid shit. And it's just like a sprinkler head. It was like, and then he was like, good, cool. And it was like $150. Oh, man, he took my money. So
Did he have like, Bell's palsy?
Yeah, that's it. I think he had like a Bell's palsy thing.
So it wasn't like born with it. Like it was like he had like a stroke, but it's like Bell's palsy, which is half your face muscle. So he can bounce back.
No, I think he also had the born thing too.
From the way I understood it, the whole face was falling off. Like he had like
that's what I meant. I envisioned like a mutation, like the face is like completely disfigured. If it's Bell's palsy, I think you can make fun of that. That's not frowned upon.
I'm not making fun of him at all. I'm just being descriptive of the scenario.
Did you have to stare at him a lot and you couldn't take your eyes off of him?
Correct.
Yeah, that happens to me too. And that's when you know that like you probably shouldn't make fun of him.
I don't think you can make fun of anybody with a disease that has palsy in it.
Yeah, no, because you can come back from that. My dad had Bell's palsy for like a year. And I remember like one day I came downstairs, my dad's sitting there trying, this is so bad. He's trying to drink coffee and he's like spilling coffee everywhere. He's like, what the heck, Brenda? And he like looks around and he went to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you got Bell's palsy. And sure enough, half your face will not move. Like you can smile. It's crazy.
I've had friends with that too, but he like the food was falling out too of the guy's mouth. He was eating fries and I think like boneless chicken nuggets or chicken wings or something he got ordered. And he didn't realize it. Oh, the best was, he was also a little odd, he would scratch, he would itch underneath his belly fat. So he would I'd watch him take his hand and he would go under his shirt, which was too short anyway, and then flap up his belly and scratch it at the poker table.
You were really watching this guy.
I was sitting right across from him. He was in the 9th seat and I was in the 5 seat. I had no choice.
Mesmerized.
Staring at him.
Just staring at him going, what is this? Everywhere. So since this is a FREEBAE episode, I'm assuming for you non-subs, shame on you. You missed the big announcement yesterday or in Tuesday's released episode of the BS about living rent free, because I've been talking about it on social media for the past week or so. And because of some incidences that have happened over the last couple of weeks, without going into detail because it's not worth it. And it's not just one person, by the way. I want to make that very clear. Me living in people's heads rent free, it's not just one person. So don't think it's one person. But I will tell you that one person did give me this idea because I live in a lot of people's minds rent free. And I love it. And I like to hear it. I think it's funny because I'm not doing anything and I don't care. I don't care. There's no money in it, right? I don't want a fight. I don't want a war. I don't want a back and forth. There's no money in it. Nobody wins ever. Nobody wins. You get in an argument with somebody on Facebook, no one ever wins. If I were going to get in a podcast dispute, well, the other person would have to have one, and they don't. So nobody wins, right? It's not worth it. But it gave me the idea of, because I'm living rent free in people's heads, and they are talking about me, not positively, by the way. That's not fair. You should live rent free as well. And the announcement yesterday is that you can. If you go to thebaileyshow.com right now and you see on the homepage, living rent free, fill out that information, you could possibly win free rent/mortgage for an entire month. You can pick whatever month you want. I'm thinking December because it's the holidays, which would give you more money to spend on family and friends, right? Thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, this could not happen without them. They are the sponsor of Living Rent Free. All right. And it all came because of what happened, and what has happened. I hear stuff from out in California and so on and so forth. But there are some rules you have to follow. And if you're listening to the FREEBAE episode, I don't know if you're going to like this one, but you've got to be a subscriber to the podcast. The email that you sign up for or with on the promotion has to match the email that you're subscribed to the podcast with. I've got those emails. So when I pick out a winner, and all you have to do is tell me why you should win. Just tell me a story, why you need your rent and or mortgage paid. And it's a maximum of $2,500. If it goes over, you're on your own. Whatever's under that, I got it. But you just have to tell me a story. I mean, tell me that, you went through this, or you're going through this, or this happened. Make it a good story, and we'll pick a winner. I think December 12th. I don't have the paper in front of me. I think December 12th is the deadline. But your email has to match up to the email that you signed up for and subscribed. And like I said on Tuesday's released episode, is that, you can sign up, I guess, a couple times. It's going to be the same email, so I'm going to know it's the same person, right? So that's kind of pointless. But if you got a few people in your house, 4, 5, 6 people in your house, it'd be a good idea to get them to subscribe to the podcast and have them enter the contest. That would make sense. And there's a couple other variables up there. Just make sure you're checking off the boxes. Very easy promotion. But
so Jason, I got a question though. I mean, the greatest story that could ever be told is if somebody wrote in and they said, I live in the basement of my deaf buddy's house. I have a man living in a woodshed right outside my back window. I can't afford electric half the time. I can't afford internet, and I haven't showered in days. That person's probably going to win. But unfortunately, are we banned from joining because me and Brandon are on the show?
No, but the funny thing is I don't think Brandon's even a subscriber.
I brought it up last episode. I was like, oh man, I'm about to come up with a fake name.
Brandon's gonna subscribe. He's like, I need this, man. I don't even know what your rent is. I mean, your rent's like in the hundreds, right? It's not.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, that lasts me 6 months out here, man.
Yeah, $2,500 to get him living 6 months to a year, probably. That's a lot of money.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I think we should do a trial run with me to see how it goes, and then we can enjoy it.
Then we want to make sure that it's enjoyable.
Yeah. Then we'll send it out to the public. We'll push it out to the public after that.
Maybe you should try subscribing to your own podcast. Maybe start there.
How do you know I'm not a subscriber?
Oh, because I see the emails. I go through it.
How do you, sir, that sees the emails know that my email's not one of them?
I don't have to subscribe. I'm here. I talked. I know what's happening in the podcast. I hear all of them. I'm here for all of them. Most of them.
How do you know the guy that owns it and runs it and creates it knows who listens? Do you really keep tabs on all this, Mr. Bailey?
Did you just scroll through like one day and just like looking for my email? Like, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? It wasn't there.
Every day, Brandon.
Every day he cries when he sees it's not there yet.
Every day. I've just been waiting patiently. Just waiting patiently.
Chuck acts like he subscribes.
Shut your mouth. We're talking about you, Brandon.
No, I know he doesn't either.
But why go back to Brandon? No. You should subscribe, Brandon.
Well, I know he doesn't either. Yeah, so I mean it's thanks for the support, guys.
We're here though. We're already here. We're a part of it. We hear it.
He's for the support.
The funny thing is that this dude asked me to donate money to something not that long ago. Without question, I dropped $100. Without question, I gave him $100. The dude still can't subscribe to the podcast.
I got my brother-in-law to subscribe though.
I'm not talking about you.
That's pretty cool. That's a good one.
Talking about you. I'm not talking about your brother.
I've gotten at least 3 people to subscribe.
Wow, I'm going to go buy a Lamborghini tomorrow.
Those are just the ones I know of. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'll just remember that next time you need me to donate to something. Which
that was for the children. That was for the children, Jason.
I don't know those children. I don't care about those children. So when I didn't even question it. I didn't even ask what it was for. Like I didn't go into detail. You just said, "Hey, can you?" I said, "Sure."
I told you what it was for.
And then you probably, it was a baseball thing. And you're like, oh, the logo is going to be doing this. And it's one of those things where I never saw the after pictures. I don't know if it happened.
You know what?
It did not happen.
I'm going to send you the after photo. And I bet you that's probably gotten you 500 subscribers just from the field.
Sure. Don't you think that after I donate it to whatever gimmick it is you asked me to donate, you should send me the pictures so we can post on social media so people know how charitable the BS podcast is?
I saw the pictures. It looked good.
I'm saying
it was on a banner. And it was little kids holding it.
Uh-huh.
I think one rubbed their boogers all over it a little bit. It looked like there was a little mess up on there.
That wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
The problem is I just give. and I never get anything back in return.
What do you mean? Look at I'm here. Brandon's here. He changed his hat.
I'm
Well,
somewhat here. Am I breaking up?
You're benefiting from this as well. I'm talking about tangible things. Donating $100 to the kids that play whatever. Oh, can you get me to go see Lainey Wilson?
That was legit. That was
By
legit.
the way, can you get me to meet and greet Lainey Wilson, arguably the biggest female country artist today?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Chuck, not a problem. Let me stop everything that I'm doing right now and get this taken care of. Within an hour, I got it taken care of.
It was awesome. And I appreciate that. And I told you I appreciate that.
But yet you still can't subscribe to the BS podcast.
I'm doing it right now. And I just sent you a picture of the pennant.
3 months afterwards.
He's on it.
I got a lot going on, and but
Dude,
now
they're
that
like in the tournament. Aren't they like in a tournament, man? Millions of people are seeing this. It's broadcasted by Fox, CBS.
Thank you. Yes. They're probably going to be in Florida next year playing in the Little League World Series, and your name is going to be on their banner.
And you know what? I understand.
Are you looking at it?
Hey guys, show women love. And I understand being busy, and I need to. I'm very busy as well, opening up the live ozone therapy spa, the editing for the radio portion of the podcast, and getting this up in social media. So I've got to remember that too. Next time I get a request for a meet and greet or a donation to something too, I'll get back to you.
Well, Jelly Roll's coming up this weekend.
I just talked to him the other day.
No, hey, that meet and greet was amazing. And that wasn't, and in all seriousness, I am going to say this publicly, 1000% coolest thing that my 8-year-old could have ever had happen to her. And that's all thanks to you. So it is very much appreciated.
You just heard him. He doesn't care about children's happiness. He just wants subscribers. Subscribe, Chuck.
Well, yeah. I did. My daughter did look at her, and Lainey said, "Oh, hi, cutie patootie." And Sydney was like, "Do you subscribe to the BS?" And I didn't even tell her to say it. That's just what she said. And so Lainey's probably going to be listening.
Does your daughter subscribe? Is your daughter subscribed?
You know what? That's how I'm going to get my subscription. My daughter's going to pay me $4.99 a month.
There you go. I mean, that's all I asked for. It's all I can ask for. How was she? Was it cool?
Oh my, it was amazing. I mean, so, the wife took her, and I kind of felt like it was kind of creepy. If what am I going to do? You know what I mean? I'm going to go back there and what? Hey, Lainey, let's get a picture. It is creepy. So my wife took her back there. I waited at the seats, and my wife took videos, pictures, all that. But the coolest thing about it was my daughter, without being asked to do it, she made a card for Lainey, and it said, Lainey had a picture of her, and it said Lainey and, Sydney and all that. And she drew it all out. Well, then on the front, it said, "Open this when you miss me." And then when you open it, there's a little piece of paper over something else. And it says, "Open the door if you still miss me." And you open it up, and it said, "I miss you too." And I was like, dude, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. So when she met her, she gave it to her. And I think my daughter scored 3 or 4 hugs. Like she's obsessed. And the whole concert, she was screaming all the songs, which was kind of weird. Cause I don't know if you hear Lainey Wilson's music, but it's about drinking Jack, and, it's kind of smoking Marlboros. I don't know, but my daughter loves it. And yeah, we stayed to the very end, man. Lights. I've never stayed through an entire concert, cause I don't do that. I hate the rush, the mad rush at the end. We had the lights come up on us, and we were still sitting there. My daughter was just in awe. So that was her first concert. So she was blown away. So thank you.
Chuck, does your daughter know the reason why she got to go and meet Lainey Wilson was because of me?
No, never. No. I don't think she'd really understand it. Even if I said to her, "Yeah, it's Jason," and she'd be like, "Who?" I'd be like, "The guy that came here and made fun of our hissing toilet." And she'd be like, "Oh, that guy," But no, she'll know when she gets older.
So if your daughter, Chuck, doesn't know I'm the one that got her meet and greet and tickets to go see Lainey Wilson, and she spent all this time making a card for Lainey Wilson that when you open it, it's, "If you miss me, open the window. If you miss me, open the door." And I don't get anything.
Oh, she's making you one. She's going to make you one. But she's going to make you one just because when she met you, you were so nice to her. So she's going to make you one. And I'm going to bring it to you to Florida.
What kind of parent are you that's not making your kid write me a thank you, Mr. Bailey, for getting to meet my favorite artist?
I'll have her do a video. Letter. Is that what they're called?
No, it needs to be MLA format. It needs a header on there. It needs to who it's addressed to. It needs to be notarized. All right.
Yeah.
Make sure it's real that she wrote it.
If she sends it, you got to frame it. That's the deal.
And she better email a copy too.
Damn right.
Oh God. Yeah, it's got to be emailed or he's not going to open it.
That's right.
Don't send it in a text.
How do you guys have businesses and don't email? I just don't understand that.
Text people, man.
Yeah, I text most people. I mean, I'll be honest, like there's some older, and I'm sure Brandon deals with this too. You have older clients that are like, here's my email address. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to send you a link to your phone. You can just look at your, I can't do all that. And you're like, okay. So you email the older people, but
yeah, old
most,
people get emails.
Most young people don't use email anymore. That's like going to the mailbox.
So
yeah, because the old people are just now getting it. Like, they're just now figuring out email. It's been out for 20 years. They're just now figuring it out.
So what's old to you?
People that ask for emails.
Like
if they don't text on their phone, they're old.
I understand that, but as far as organization I'm not disagreeing that texting is a lot easier, but email for organization is way easier. That's if I'm organizing things. I mean, that's why, like, if you book an appointment, like let's say, for example, you go to book an appointment at a live ozone therapy spa. This is really cool. You go online, you book your appointment, and then you get an email notification, just like any other booking service, but you also get a text message as well, because you need both. Absolutely, you need both. And I don't disagree with that. But if you have a business and like you say, the older people, like my experience is actually older people prefer text.
Now, well, see, your business is a little different because they come to you and they can just like book time slots. Like, we got to go out to these people and like go to their house and go to wherever the job site is. So we got to be like, hey, we can be here this day. Let me let you know here a little later. I'll give you a call, let you know, and be like, go out there. And then really all I do is I just tell them the quote right then and there, or I'll text it to them. And that's really the only communication I have. Then we get started. So it's not like a back and forth.
You don't even know what an invoice is,
Yeah.
like
I send them all the time.
But we use apps for that. Like we have Invoice to Go or whatever. So it's all app based. So you never use email at all. The only time, because you're communicating through an app.
But
I use Google Docs.
Yeah, but Google Docs for an invoice?
Yeah.
Oh, so so there's no like analytics to it. You just have an invoice in a Google Doc. You change it and you send it.
Yeah, yeah, because I keep all the clients and everything in like an Excel spreadsheet, so I got all their numbers and address and who they are.
That's
why'd you say, Brandon? You were like on the right, dude. You were on the right track. Like I
knew he would screw it up. I knew he would screw it up at some point.
No, I have them just so I know, because
man.
So the problem is I text everybody, every single one of my customers at the end of the year and the beginning of the year to shut the sprinkler systems down and start them back up. So it's a pain in the ass if I got to go through every person and text message them. So I just have like a 200-300 customer list that I do winterizations for, and I just send a message out to all of them, and then I send it in April, so I don't have to text each fucking one of them.
What Chuck is making fun of you about is that there's no analytics to your process. There's no database to your process.
Well, there's an Excel spreadsheet.
You have an Excel spreadsheet, which is probably not even formatted to search, because you probably just made one and just started putting names in it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, exactly. So you haven't even formatted the Excel spreadsheet. That's what I'm talking about with organization. And so even with emails, like when I'm booking guests for the show or whatnot, I'm not texting. I'm not going, I mean, maybe sometimes it'll be a follow-up to the email, but if you're going to go back and look for things, email's a lot easier to search for it than text.
But for me, it's easier. I'll just text message. I go to search and I just type in a search phrase, sprinklers, and then it just pops up. But how are you getting analytics out of emails? What are you talking about with this analytics shit?
No, we're not talking about the analytics in the email. We're talking about analytics with a database.
I don't need that.
Why wouldn't you want that? That's currency. Your database is currency. How do you think Facebook got to where Facebook was? That was
my database is my Excel sheet or my Google sheet. That's why I got all the people in there. Why do I need analytics on them? I'm gonna be like, did I do a job for them? Yes or no? Yes. There we go. That's all I need to know.
All right, man. Good luck.
Because I don't have repeat customers usually.
All right. You got it going on.
All right, whatever.
You got it. You got it going on. Brandon got it.
I get what you're saying, Brandon. I just wish you wouldn't have said Excel spreadsheet. Like
Well,
that's
I just keep all the
God, I
names
can't
in
even
there.
I can't even find Excel spreadsheets on my computer. Like
Well,
I
it's
think
Google
they
Sheets.
went out of business, didn't they?
It's Google Sheets.
Did you just say Google went out of business?
No, Excel spreadsheet or Excel, the Excel.
Microsoft
What is
No.
it? What is it called? The Excel
Suite.
page,
Sweet.
whatever.
So you
Like,
probably
they don't
use
make that
Microsoft.
anymore.
So what do you use, like
Ooh.
Intuit or something like that? And you
No, I had to use was it Google Drive or something like that? That's Google Docs.
no,
He
to,
does
send
the
your,
same thing I do.
no, to send your invoices,
Oh, I use Invoice to Go.
invoice to go or something like that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it keeps tabs and it keeps them nice and neat.
It tells you how much money you've made in the quarter, how much money you got to collect, how many expenses you had, all that. It's really, really good for tax purposes.
FreshBooks, another good one.
And it's good, Brandon. What I was going to explain with that, because you're talking about, why do I need to know? Is it tells me, like, if Jason Bailey's a customer of mine and last year he did say $7,000 to $10,000 worth of business with me, and then Brandon Thrasher's a customer of mine and he did $600 or $500 whatever of business with me. When I'm in a pinch and I'm like, man, I really need to get some business, it's just slowing down, whatever. I can separate my customers based on how much money that they've paid me in the past. And now I know, hey, I'm going to reach out to Jason Bailey. Hey man, do you have any work you need done? We're running a special. I would never send it to you, Brandon. $500 a year.
Hey, I got that too. Because in my Excel spreadsheet, what I did is I give them stars. Stars on the keyboard, the little asterisk things. So if they were really good, I give them 5 stars, and I know I can go back and they can be a repeat customer. If
I guarantee you, he highlights them in green, yellow, and red.
And they're highlighted in green, by the way. They're highlighted in green, and 5 stars means they're green.
Well, yeah, see, I don't know. I don't do that. Like I said, I send my text messages out twice a year to everybody. People just text me, but I remember most of the jobs. Like as soon as someone texts me, I look back through the thread. I'll be like, okay, I remember I did this, and that. This is how much I charged them for it. And then I charge accordingly from there. But I don't know. I don't hit customers up like when we don't have work and be like, hey, is there something I can do? I don't do that. I don't know.
You got to do that. Always do that. Send a text. Hey man, just checking in. Just want to make sure we're running a special. It's a winner, blah, blah, blah. If you need anything done, 20% off. People love that.
Let Brandon do his business his way. We got Manny. We got Nate.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, you fuckers.
Thank God Manny's here.
Hey, Manny, how do we sue these fuckers? How do we sue them?
God. I've got my newest lawyer, Nathan Pew. Some of them would have met him at the Podcast and Pours super event from a week
Howdy, gentlemen.
ago.
I like his hoodie, like his pullover.
Absolutely. Go dogs.
Go dogs, baby. Horns down, bitches.
Horns down.
I thought you said whores down, bitches. Manny just jumped into the conversation. It's like, I've got to tell you about Nathan. I don't care what you guys were just talking about, and I don't care what we're going to talk about. I need to talk about Nathan. And next, we're going to talk about Nathan's mustache, because Nathan's mustache is awesome.
Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, I grew it out initially. I was doing a mock trial competition in college, and I was playing a police officer. And I thought to myself, well, what do police officers have? They have a mustache and a buzz cut. So grew out the mustache, and I went down to my barber and I asked him, hey, can you give me a haircut that'll make me look like a Oconee County Sheriff's deputy? And she says, well, I cut all their hair. Which deputy you want to look like? And I said, oh, no, ma'am, I don't have a particular one in mind. Make me look like all of them. And so I buzzed it all the way down. And I'll tell you what, I got mistaken for a cop 3 separate times.
You do look like a cop. So there is the
I'm as far from it as you can get.
There is the mad dog, Manny Aurora, with the Aurora Law Firm, theauroralawfirm.com. And he is bringing on his newest attorney, Nathan. And Nathan, your last name is what?
It's Pew.
Pew, 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 Pew. Nathan,
like laser gun.
Nathan Pew. And I remember at Podcast and Pours 3 when we met for the first time, I said, you're the guy from the Aurora Law Firm LinkedIn account that just passed the bar. And then you got another special surprise from a judge, and you got all these things going on. So you're like a newly appointed attorney under the thumb of the Mad Dog.
That's it. Under the Mad Dog's paw.
All right. So what's the process here, Manny? How do we hire new attorneys at the Aurora Law Firm? What does this kid just apply, or did you like scout him out? What?
So we have everybody work for us for about 1 year to 2 years as an intern to make sure they fit in to our culture, and they actually are competent enough to do the job. And so we don't hire laterally like from other firms. I groom them through law school, or we hire judicial clerks that have already had some experience in writing and researching. And so everybody knows what to expect. They know what to expect of me, and it's really good. And so Nathan's put up with this for the last almost 2 years. And now he's super pumped and excited. And I figured I'm kind of calm and easygoing. And Nathan's the exact opposite. He's like on caffeine all the time when they're still young and think they're going to save the world and things are going to go their way. And that's what we've got. And not to change the subject, but my God, can you get him to shut the fuck up about the Georgia game? He's still complaining about some penalty where people threw beer bottles on the field. I'm like, who cares? Just pretend like you're in Philadelphia.
Well, it's nice to know
Yeah,
that
but kick their ass anyway.
It's nice to know that you're it's nice to know that you're the calm one, Manny. Fuck up.
Did you go in the same room?
Did you say you groom your attorneys? Like,
yeah, not sexually, but we groom them to be good lawyers. So it's good for the clients and everybody else. And we're in the same room, we're in the same office. We have that doctor's trial starting tomorrow morning with jury selection that we've discussed in the past.
Yeah,
he's the general practice doctor who had to do some OBGYN testing on some patients. And years after the fact, they've decided that he diddled them a little too long. So that's kind of where we are.
How do they prove that?
The ladies come in and say it's this or it's that. And, our position is, look, he's a general practice doctor. He's a board certified internist. In the morning, he's seeing a guy, then he'll see a lady, then he'll see a younger person. It'll be whatever. And people come in for their STD issues and he has to check it out. And they're like, well, his fingers were in there too long, or he touched my clitoris. I'm like, it's kind of all part and parcel of it. I don't imagine if you see how disgusting these things are that you'd be getting your sexual jollies. But, people are into feet, people are into all kinds of weird shit. But yeah, it's bizarre. But I don't know.
The question you need to ask them. Nathan, are you in on this? You're helping out with this?
Yeah, okay. We're picking a jury in 9 a.m. tomorrow?
All right, kid, let me give you some advice on how this is going to play out, okay? This is what you need to do. The one question that's going to help you guys out and figure out who's right, who's lying, who's telling the truth and who's not, is ask these people that are blaming this doctor, right, that if they were aroused, right? So if they were aroused, then there's something there. But if they weren't aroused, then there's nothing there. See what I'm saying, Chuck? Does that make sense?
Are you talking about when they bring the evidence? And I don't think, man, are you guys going to show the videos or the photos of what the body part looked like when it was allegedly
There are no
diddled?
photos because as a doctor, you're not allowed to photograph it, and you can't have cameras in the exam room.
They don't do that. They don't. Hold on, I gotta get a hold on. I gotta get a picture of this real quick. This is the worst I've ever seen. It's fucked.
When you're dealing with sort of an oozing vaginal area because it's got some type of disease, you got to stick your fingers in there and check for lumps or whatever the hell it is. I've seen pictures of it. It's pretty disgusting, but people are in all kinds of stuff. So, who am I to judge? But
yeah.
I don't think a 69-year-old Indian doctor, which is another fear I have, because when you have a federal trial, you just don't pick from the jury from the county that you're in. We're in the Northern District of Georgia. So there's 13 counties going all the way up through the mountains. And so based on the current climate, a lot of those things also bother me. I mean, we have to establish right out of the gate. He was here legally 40 years ago. He's got a family, kids, the whole bit, living the American dream, migrated over here.
Do you try to put together a jury of people that look like him in that area?
There just aren't that many as far as, the pool goes out to. So I always chuckle at jury of my peers. It's like if Branden was my client, what are the jury of his peers? These ladies from Alpharetta that are going to sit in there or something else. It's going to be very iffy, but we call it peers. It just means anybody else. If I'm from the hood, who from the gated community is going to know, and vice versa. But
well, if it's an Indian, if you can't find Indian guys, just find people that like to tan.
That's what I was going to say. Just say you're really tan.
Yeah, fine. Like, stand outside like a Planet Tanning Salon or something, whatever they're called.
Planet Tanning Salon.
Planet Tan. That's a good one.
Where did you go tan? I went to Planet Tanning Salon. It was great. It was great.
They asked me for jury duty too. It was really cool.
So I was in I was at the Fulton County Courthouse today, and I was in the jury selection room. And in the jury room, they've got this giant poster. It's probably 6 feet wide, and in big letters at the top, it says "Jury of your peers." and it's got a cat, and he's the defendant. And then there's the jury box, and it's full of 12 dogs. And so even in the jury room, they acknowledge
they make the joke
Damn.
right there in your face.
Mhm.
Well, peers, I guess. I mean, the chances of you like finding, well, how many people are on a jury? Is it 12? Yeah.
12.
So, to find somebody, like, you would have to find 12 people that have the same likes and dislikes you have, which then I would think wouldn't be fair because that would be too similar. So I'm assuming the idea of peers is just a human being.
It's just regular people from the community.
Yeah,
Whoever's in the area.
It's got to be somebody that understands you. Like if I'm from a certain part of Atlanta, people from Roswell are fearful of that part of Atlanta. And so you should have a mix, a diverse mix. But the problem is in certain areas, people don't vote, or perhaps they have a record, so they're automatically excluded. And so it's just hard to do it. Tell me, an Indian doctor who works as a general practitioner, what's the jury of his peers? I mean, should we have other doctors available? Should we have this?
Oh,
the
yeah.
system is a system, it's whoever you can get.
So if I were you guys, if I was the Aurora law firm and I'm trying to find a jury of my client's peers who's an Indian doctor, what, in his 60s, probably?
Late 60s.
Late 60s, good guess. My first thing I'd try to find somebody in the medical field,
Right.
somehow, some way, shape, form, fashion. The other, I would definitely try to find a men, and I would also look for people with, can you have a criminal background and still be on a jury?
No.
Like at all, or just
At all. If you've got a felony conviction, unless it's been expunged or something,
Okay.
you cannot be on there.
I would then try to find somebody that has been accused of like causes without conviction. But, guys get accused of stuff all the time, right? So
That's what we need on this one is people to understand that. But Jason, there's going to be 55 random people coming into the courthouse on our case. They're going to invite a couple of hundred people for other trials too in the courthouse from the 13 counties that make up the Northern District. Goes all the way from sort of north of Coweta all the way up to the mountains of Georgia. So some people might be driving an hour or two to get here. So we'll just get 55 people at random. And out of that, we got to get it down to 12. We get 10 strikes to kick off people that we want. The government gets 6 strikes to kick off people that they want. And essentially, they call it jury selection, but it's really jury deselection, right? You're getting rid of the people you don't want. And nobody ever really always tells you the truth. It's like everybody says I can be fair and impartial and all that stuff, right? Because nobody wants to believe it. Nobody's racist on a jury or any of those kinds of things, because the idea is to get as much information as you can, but you only have about 2 minutes per juror. So it's like speed dating to figure out who you want. And so it's a very hectic, tiresome process. It takes about a day and a half.
See, you bring this up. So this is where you guys got it all wrong. You always talk, because I know you're a defense attorney and you got to, your clients are from the hood and everybody's racist and the whole world's crashing down.
Nobody said anybody's racist. I'm just saying there's the reality.
You need to use that to your advantage. You need to find people that are racist against the people that are trying to convict your client. Find people that hate women. Find people that hate white women. That's what you need to use it to your advantage. Like, I want that racist person right there that hates white women, that bitch and complain. That's who I want on my jury. The Aurora law firm will only take racist white men and women for their jury people.
Exactly, because the victims in this case are African American females that served for a very short period of time in the military. So that's why they're at the VA and just a VA doctor.
Boom. Oh, that's even better. So you have to find somebody that hates black women. That's easy.
Can I get a bunch of black men on the jury then, I guess? Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is,
according to Barack Obama,
you want the opposite is what I'm saying, is you reverse it. You flip-flop it, instead of complaining that everybody's racist and it's not going to be fair, take the racist people to use to your advantage that aren't going to believe them. See what I'm saying? It's brilliant.
I just got to get 5 people that'll say, hey, I hate white people or I hate black women or something. So that's kind of hard to get people to admit.
Hey, Manny, when you guys are doing it, does Mr. Pew, does he have a large part in that when you guys do this? Or are you just going to watch and learn?
I'll be doing most of the questioning, but we have these graphs because of 55 people. We have to keep track of it all because it's going so fast the jurors all have little paddles that'll have their number on it if they're answering a question, yes or no. And so it's just really difficult, and you want as many eyeballs as you can on it, because sometimes the answers or whatever they are, it's the body language that gives it away. And so that's what we try to do.
Can I give you one word of advice?
Absolutely.
When you're going to deselect somebody, have him stand up and be like, pew, pew. And like every time they get deselected, he's like, pew. And they're like, oh, and you'd become
Shoot him down.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, with the last name like Pew and you're deselecting a jury, oh my God. That's
Yeah.
like,
Go
that could
viral,
be-
man.
I would hire you just to see it happen.
Yeah.
Like you're just up
Oh,
there
yeah.
like,
And then,
juror number 13, pew.
then you
Yeah.
can pray for him after, like you're sitting in a pew, church pew,
Oh,
the double pew.
Get it on both sides.
Yeah. And then, Manny, if you ever need any information, you just turn behind you and get some Pew's clues.
We're really taking this one to the edge. You had it good in the first two, but that one was a bit much.
Yeah.
Pew's clues, Pew's clues, you know, and you have a little.
Are you going to go with Pepe Le Pew now? Or is that coming up? Or-
Ah,
Good job, Manny.
find a racist person that doesn't like Pepe's. Yeah.
Manny,
Ladies and
can
gentlemen,
I
who
be on?
here is racist?
Could I be on your trial? Can I, or is it since like if I were to get picked for jury duty and like you
I
happen to
would
be the defendant?
love it. You don't know me. Come on in, baby.
Oh,
But
okay.
you already
All
got
right,
your
yeah.
notice to show up tomorrow.
Brandon can't be on the jury. I just found that out because you said you have to vote, right? You have to be a registered voter.
I am a registered voter.
No way.
Yeah, I voted in the last presidential election.
You know, what'd be funny is if Manny's jury ends up being people that were at Podcast and Pours 3.
That would be awesome.
He's getting ready to go. This huge case. It's this Indian doctor who's being accused of diddling women against the government, and they look over at the jury, and Manny was able to pick the people that he wanted, and they're all wearing BS t-shirts.
I
And they're
feel
like,
pretty good about our chances.
you're like, dude, you remember when Bailey and Chuck did Johnny Be Good and Branden did Keep Bad? Oh, sorry. Yes, no, not guilty. Yeah.
I think they might hold us against us, though, that Manny never competed in that karaoke contest.
And he said he was going to, right?
I was peer pressured into it. I needed to maybe take some drugs or something to do that one, because the FCC would have probably fined me for singing on some type of service.
It was Fat Bottom Girls we had set aside for you.
Maybe we could play that at the jury thing, because we'll have plenty of those in the witness box.
Oh man.
I was even surprised that you even brought it up. Like, that's not the man. I've known Manny for a long time. I never in a million years. I mean, something's happened to you, my friend. Like, you're coming out of your shell. For him to even just say that he was thinking of doing that, like, blew. Like, I went over to my wife and I said, "Right, you're not going to believe what Manny just told me." She said, "What?" I said, "He's going to do karaoke." She goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah, Manny Roy is going to do karaoke." She goes, "No way. I'm not going to believe it until I see it." I go, "The man just told me to my face, sign me up, sign me up." That was good enough for me, to be honest with you. Because maybe at Podcast and Pours 4, I mean, we're not going to do karaoke. Hopefully you'll make it down to Orlando for it. We can do something else with you. You know,
I can do karaoke. I just need to get a hotel room so I can drink enough to.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta have a hotel room?
Because
can't drive back.
home.
Oh.
Jason really gonna do pretending?
I thought he meant like he has to drink alone. Like, no, I gotta have,
No,
gotta have a
Get
hotel
mine
room.
right first.
Get
wasted
pre-gamed.
all alone.
I need a quiet spot to warm up if I'm going to do that.
In the
Some
green
warm
room.
water with some salt in it and go la la la.
No. Well, lucky for you, Manny, the Hilton is giving a special deal for people going to Podcast and Pours 4, and they've blocked off a section of rooms in downtown Orlando. So if you go to thebaileyshow.com, you can get your room. If you'd like me to reserve it for you, I'd be more than happy to do so. But yeah, it's pretty cool. We got a nice Hilton in downtown Orlando for Podcast and Pours 4. You can't beat it. You know,
Pew Pew shed like Brandon did at Chuck's house.
No, this is not a show. Pew Pew, are you coming down to Podcast and Pours 4 in December?
I'll tell you what, it's always a good time to take a trip to Orlando.
Yeah, see, look at that. Yeah. He's got that, like, how old are you, Pew Pew?
27.
27. Okay. So he's got that, he hasn't grown into his voice yet thing going. You notice that, Manny? He hasn't got his.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that.
Well, he's been grooming me. Don't worry about him.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
have his, like, he's still got his.
His man parts haven't dropped, is what you're saying.
No,
You
it's
know,
not,
my mom keeps saying I'm a late bloomer. It's gonna happen one of these days.
it's not his voice. His voice is fine. It's just his delivery. He's caught between that. I'm still a kid, I'm in my 20s. I'm a dude, and he talks dude when he's around his friends. But when he's in this atmosphere, he wants to be a professional. He hasn't found that middle ground of being a fella professional. You see what I'm saying?
Professional dude.
A professional fella is that, because you just got to let it flow. You just got to be real. Let people, you come across as a little kind of phony baloney with the, you know what I mean? You're a good dude. You're a real
That's how I
dude.
am.
No, that's not how you are. That's Shakespeare. You got to just let it flow. You got to be you. You got to be Pew
He's an
Pew.
attorney, man. He's got to talk like that.
And who's to say I'm not Shakespeare?
Look at Manny. Manny's as real as it gets, right? He's a real deal. He's got that. He probably grew into it. Probably when you were younger, Manny, you had that same problem. I'm sure.
I'm sure I did. I still have some problems, but my wife will share those with you if we let her on the show.
Pew Pew. I had the same issues with radio. Same issues.
So how'd you grow into it? What was the moment?
Stopped caring. Yeah. Just got to say, what the fuck?
That's simple. There it is.
Yeah. There's a point where you have to stop caring so much. Once you stop caring, things kind of work itself out a little bit.
Jason, makes it tough for the clients. You got to really, really care because it's emotionally taxing, the job we do.
Yeah, no. You don't tell them you don't care. No, you keep that in.
That's the part you don't say out loud.
You can't fake that kind of stuff because our mistakes, unfortunately, are life in prison. So there's not much middle ground for us. It's all or nothing.
So this doctor that you're representing for being accused of diddling some women as an OBGYN, if he gets convicted, is he going away for the rest of his life?
He'll probably go away for like 5-6 years, but at his age, with the health conditions, it's basically a life sentence. So my point is, why don't they just, if they think he really did it, just take his license. He still has his license. The medical board cleared him. But the U.S. Attorney's Office says, not so fast. And so give him some house arrest and take away his medical license, call it a day. But nope, they got to prove a point because our lady prosecutors know better. And they're in the unit. And so that's what we got to do.
What's the doctor's wife think about all this?
She believes her husband. I mean, they've been married for like 40 something years at this point. And frankly, I believe him too. In one of his interviews with the police, when he made his statements, no lawyers, nothing, he just said, put me on a polygraph. I'll take whatever you want. And they're like, oh, slow down there, Sparky. See, that's the problem with the government. They love the polygraph when it helps them. But when somebody actually wants to do it to help prove their innocence, you're like, whoa, you can't trust those things. We don't want to do that. And it's just gamesmanship. At some point, somebody's made up their mind that you did it, and that's just how it's going to be.
Do you like talk to his wife, right? One-on-one to get some
talk to her today.
Yeah. So when you talked to her, did you ask her questions like about their sex life, what he likes to do in the bedroom to see if there's any patterns?
No, I haven't asked if he likes to have digital penetration of his wife, but so that did not come up.
Well, that's something you should talk. I mean, if you want me to ask her, I will. If you want to get her on the show, but I think that's.
I mean, I could ask her to have those stirrups in the bedroom and stuff like that. I mean,
wait, but I think that plays.
You can take photos of it, right? Exhibit A.
I'm being serious. It plays. You put together a timeline. You go, okay, well, is this doctor? Just normal dude out on the streets, but he's a freak in the sheets kind of thing. And you find out, like, does he have porn? You ask the wife, does he like butt play? I mean, like, what is he into that would make him do something like this? And if you see no pattern of it and he's not a freak, then, you get her up there and you start asking questions. That's what I would do.
Maybe he's not getting it at home.
That way to say, hey, he didn't do that to his wife, so he couldn't have done it to the patients. He's a 69-year-old Indian fellow that's kind of slight in stature and small. I think, maybe just taking off the shirt while having intercourse might be the freakiest it gets, as far as that goes.
That's good for your case then. Like, just prove that then and say, like, look, like, have the wife go, he's horrible in bed. Like, he's not in this. Sex is not high up on his totem pole thing. I mean,
I hate to agree with Jason, Manny. I do, especially on this. I really do. But have you guys
with me? I'm one of the most brilliant minds on earth. Why would
No,
you
but what I see is the angle of, have you guys thought about maybe having like his testosterone levels checked? And if they're low, taking that into court and being like, hey, he does not get aroused like normal guys would. So, I mean, it could just help the case. Is that something you guys even think about?
Chuck, these are women that are being tested for STDs with shit coming out of the hoo-ha.
Well, I know, but if I
If
have
that's
low
arousing you,
testosterone,
testosterone level isn't the shit.
it's a double whammy. It's like, God, I hate this. Like Jason said,
Thank you.
It's some people are into some really weird stuff. But I think if you have medical documentation going, hey, not only is he not into that, but he also has low T, or he has, I don't know, some of the other stuff that guys get, right? Maybe you could help the case. I'm just saying.
He's a doctor. He could prescribe those pills to himself for all I know.
Has he ever?
Well, we wouldn't be able to track it because it'd be some other doctor doing it under a different name.
That's what I would ask if I was the prosecution. That's the first thing I would do.
Got the row pills online, and you don't have to give them your real name. You just get those little row pills, and hot women just show up. And you have sex.
So what if you're in the court and the prosecution's like, Your Honor, we'd like to enter into evidence exhibit 76, and you look at it and it's a prescription for 1,000 Viagras, and they're like, he had this prescribed to him 2 days before the first alleged incident. That's a Manny oh crap moment, right? Like you're like, oh crap.
Then you go high five the jurors to say, "Ooh, he needs to have many Viagras, and here's a Magnum condom."
And to my brilliant point is that when jury selection comes around, ask them, find the freaks, find the people that are going to be like, you know what? If he did it, I kind of understand it. I get it. It's kind of cool. I can spot a freak. I look, Pew Pew, you don't know this about me, but I can look at somebody, talk to anybody for 60 seconds, and I'll know everything I need to know about them. I could tell you things about you right now that you don't even know. It's a God-given ability. So the jury stuff, the things that I'm saying to you guys, I really hope you're I don't see you taking notes, Pew Pew, but you should be jotting stuff down.
It's being recorded, right? So it's cool. We got it.
You go in there and you find the freaks in the jury, and you can look at a woman and go, okay, she likes butt play, right? They're like, you can spot them out of a crowd, hands down, without a doubt. They usually have that kind of melty face look to them, like I want her there because she wants to be there just to hear the stories, to get aroused. Right? You want them on your side.
You got to see who's.
We're looking for a particular brand of freaky here, and it's not easy to come by, I don't think.
Well, you sound like John Wayne. That's who you sound like.
John Wayne grew into his voice, and so will
Jason is so interested in your voice. That's funny.
Yeah, it's the jury that you need to find is already looking for you.
I hope so. So, Jason, tell me something about me that I don't know.
Oh God,
I'll get to that a little bit later, but I know you're anxious to hear it. And I know that a little bit. Let me play in your head a little bit more, just so you can, because I know something about you that you don't want me to say in front of Manny. I know it right now. I can feel it. There's something you're hiding. There's something about you that you're hiding that you don't want me to say because Manny's here. I can feel it.
Open book. All you got to do is crack the page.
All right. He's Matthew McConaughey meets John.
Dude, this guy, you need to, whoever wins the presidency, right? Whoever wins, you need to put in to be the press secretary, because you would be fantastic at it.
So my like long shot dream job is I would love to be the speechwriter for a president. I think that would be an amazing job.
No. You can write it, but you got to say it too.
Kamala's like, and I'd like to welcome my speechwriter Pew to give the State of the Union.
He gets up there and he's like, all right. So we're here. And I got to tell you, it's a good feeling.
But I'm going to tell you, I can never be McConaughey because McConaughey is a Texas fan. No
and I'm not a Texas fan. I'm a Georgia guy through and through. But I'll tell you right now, this doctor, he ain't guilty. You know who's guilty? The system's guilty.
Mm-hmm. You can just do the whole thing from New Jack City right there in the courtroom scene.
Oh yeah, yeah. Man, we're all Pookies. That's a great movie. What a great reference. God, New Jack City's fantastic. I think Pew Pew, you need to come on all the time. You're good. You're fun.
I'd like to be here.
Can I ask Pew Pew one question?
Yeah.
I heard earlier you just completed the bar exam, right?
Mhm.
So I was watching Catch Me If You Can the other day,
Mhm.
and in the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, keeps getting asked by Tom Hanks about the bar exam, and then he says, "Tell me, how'd you cheat on it?" And he says, "You want the truth? I didn't cheat on it. I studied for 6 weeks and I passed."
Mhm.
Is that for real? Could that really happen?
So I do think that to some degree it could happen. I spent, I went to law school, obviously, but then I spent probably about 10 weeks studying. Like generally the bar exam courses are about 10 weeks or so. And they really do a good job of laying everything out there. And I think that if you took a person who didn't go to law school, but was a reasonably all right, like writer, I think that with 10 weeks of really dedicated study, it might be possible.
Ask me a
Just
question.
memorizing stuff,
Oh,
guys.
Brandon, we are doing.
I'm halfway there, man. I get kicked out of the bar. I'm sure I can pass the bar here soon if I get a little study.
As long as you can memorize shit, you're close to passing. You're halfway there.
Because it's a memorization exam more so than anything else, I think. And like there's a lot of material to get through, but
All right,
if
Pew
you
Pew.
just memorize and can spit it out on game day, that's all you got to do.
Pew Pew, ask me a question that was on the bar exam. If I answer it, I pass.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you want like a multiple choice type of question or like a free response type?
Oh, he has to have a multiple choice. There's no way he knows any of the cases or not any case law. So you got to give
something actually kind of interesting on the free response type of stuff. You are actually allowed to just make up the law. And they tell you point blank in the studying, like if you don't know what the law is, just make something up because the majority of the points that are available are for like your analysis.
Give me that one.
Right. Give me that one. Give me that one.
So I had a question. It was something like it was like there's this city and there is the city wants to pass an ordinance banning Airbnbs. And well, see, this is a really hard sort of question to ask because the way all of the questions are structured is there's, one sort of main question and then there's like 6 or 7,
Just give me the main question. Give me like 10 words in question form. Go.
I'll just give you one. You're stumping him. It's just
you stumped
me.
me.
If you're worried, can you have children?
Here's my question. Here's my 10-word question.
If you can't do it a certain way.
Hold on, guys. You're talking over each other. I can't hear both of you. Hold on, Manny. What did you say?
I said, just let's cut to the chase. He's having trouble trying to be all smart, which he is smart, but it's basically just asking, hey, what is an octogenarian kind of thing on a real estate issue as far as writing your will and stuff like that. So under the law, even if you're 80, theoretically, you could have a kid. So you have to write a will a certain way. And that would be the question, what do you got to do? Most people will miss out on the fact that there could be a new child and you need to account for that in the will, even though you're 80 plus years old. So it's stuff like that. And generally the answers are more than one on the multiple choice will be correct. You just have to pick the most correct one in your opinion. That's the hard part.
Why is it I can't get someone to give me a question? I just want someone to give me a question that was on the bar.
All right.
Something. Just give me. I want to play along.
Here, I'm pulling up a real question for you. Give me 1 minute.
You have to learn to get to the point. Like, I mean, boom.
Who memorizes these questions? These kids take the exam and they want to flush everything as fast as possible. I'm just telling you, it's a memorization issue. Half the classes they test you on, you didn't even take in law school.
Jason, what is the definition of Miranda, or what is the facts of Miranda versus Arizona?
What is the facts?
Yeah.
How did it come about?
Was it that's not on the bar?
I bet you it is. It's on the bar, right? That's on the bar.
Part of a Fifth Amendment question, they can ask you that. Or, for example, how about something simple? When did the presumption of innocence come into existence?
Well, that was in the 1800s. And when it did come into existence, it was based off of the prerequisite of the case law of Johnson versus Johnson. And what happened? Well, Mr. Johnson and there was Rod and Tom, no relation. One Rod accused Tom of stealing his cows. And so the old townspeople said, hey, look, I've seen him take things before. He's guilty. And they ended up killing him. They hung him in town square. It was horrible. And so finally, when it did go to court, after he was dead, his widow went there and was able to prove that her husband wasn't even in town at the time, because they had, this was the start of photography. They had a photograph done, like the photo done. And it showed him that he was in a town over celebrating the cauliflower month with them. They celebrate plants.
What's the band? Is it the band that did the song? Is it Well, She Walks These Hills, about the guy that got you just literally said this? I think it's a long black veil or something. That's the story.
It was very impressive. He said it with so much confidence, sounded good. Most people just say it's in the Constitution. You tell people no, it was 1894 when it came into existence under a certain case that we made it that way.
Thank you.
Having a presumption of innocence.
Yeah.
You got the 1800s part, right?
Of course I did. And it was Johnson versus Johnson.
You just said, you did say somebody died. So the case was Coffin versus United States, but that's another story.
Coffin.
So I guess if he died, he was put in a coffin. So theoretically, he got it right.
I mean, I don't know why y'all question me. Pew Pew, are you still working on something over there? You look busy.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go.
All right. So a man was at a party where he observed a female guest who had passed out and was unconscious and alone in a bedroom of the house. The man locked the door and quietly took the female's purse, emptied all the money into his pockets, and removed the jewelry from her person. He was apprehended and charged with robbery. Can he be convicted of robbery? Now we've got A, yes, robbery is the unlawful taking of property from another person by intimidation or force. B, no, this was not a robbery because there was no intimidation and indeed no force against the unconscious victim. C, yes, robbery does not require that the victim be subdued by force or be placed in fear. Or D, no, this was not a robbery because it occurred in a private home and not in a business establishment or on the street.
It would be A and C. Those would be the answers.
Okay.
You gotta pick
I'm gonna
one.
say C. I'm gonna say C.
And what? And you said what, Manny? I got to do what?
You got to pick one. There's always one that is more right than the other.
Oh, then C. Absolutely.
All right, C. Brandon, you weighing in?
Oh, A.
Well, all of you are wrong. It's actually B. And so the deal with robbery is robbery does require some sort of force, and it requires the victim to be aware of the force. So if you're asleep, you're not aware of anything being taken. So it's not a robbery. It's just a theft.
Theft by taking, gentlemen. Theft
I was
by
thinking
taking.
theft. Yeah. But I didn't hear theft in there. I didn't hear the word theft.
I knew it was a trick. That's my problem. That's why I could never pass this. One, it's too long. I don't have the attention span for it. And I'll just all right, this is C. This is C. This is C. Christmas tree. But you take it on a Scantron probably, right? With the number 2 pencil.
So yeah, half of it's on a Scantron, half of it's typed.
Chuck, you were getting ready to laugh. You thought that was a joke, didn't you?
No, but it's the Scantron brand, all that.
Is it, like you're talking, it's on paper?
Yep, pencil and paper.
What?
And some people,
for the most part.
Where did you take
I
this?
opted to type all the written stuff, but some people hand wrote it. And
Let me
back
guess.
in the day, Manny hand wrote the bar exam when he took it.
That
Let me
was a long
guess.
time ago.
You get your test results in email probably, right?
Yeah, they did come by email, but you take the test in July and you don't get the results until the end of October. It's crazy.
Oh,
How much is it to take it? I want to take it for fun.
So it's thousands and thousands of dollars.
Ooh.
Like I
Look
think
at
all
these
the
He's out.
and the practice and the test and all that. I mean, I'm probably 4,000 in on just the exam.
Did
Manny,
you pass the first time?
First time, baby. That's it.
Yeah. Manny, would you sponsor Brandon to take the bar exam?
Yeah, it's only 4,000 if you take the classes and all that. To take the exam, it's like $500, but you got to pass the background check before they let you sit for it.
I got that, baby. I'm clean, man. I've been declared free by the Coweta County justice system.
What the hell did he just say?
I don't know. The problem with Brandon passing the bar is he can't, because he can't even get into a bar. Like
What's
he's
my bar
banned.
question? It's like, how do you get 2 girls home with $50? How you do that?
You go to Peachtree Industrial Boulevard.
I'm at the bar.
Buy roofies for 20 and keep the 40 or keep the 30. And,
I was gonna say Uber.
yeah, or Uber. Absolutely. Yeah, sure. So Manny, non-law related question, but since you're Indian, we figured we'd ask. Do you get
Just
back?
let everybody know I'm not the kind. I'm the
No, you're
India from Indian kind.
customer service Indian. So do you ever get back to the homeland?
I haven't been since 2016 for last wedding because the kids were in college, so really couldn't get away, and now I just haven't been. But I'm gonna go soon.
Okay. Are you familiar with the North Sentinel Island?
I am not familiar with the North Sentinel Island.
Pew Pew. You know about the North Sentinel Island?
That's the one where like the missionaries went and got eaten.
Yeah, the one guy that was out spreading the word of Christianity, and there's cannibals, and the Indian government won't let you within 5 miles of the island. Okay, so Branden here has come up with this extremely brilliant idea and he's taking Chuck with them. They're going to fly 36-ish hours to this place. They're going to get in a boat, and they're going to be the first to ever do a podcast to the North Sentinel Indians. And they're going to play music, and they're going to let them hear what music sounds like, and they're going to give gifts and all kinds of stuff. They're just needing some help to get there. They're looking for sponsorship, and they need a tour guide. Chuck's big on the tour guide, which I agree with him on. Annie, do you have any insight to any of this where you could possibly?
Yes, I can get you a tour guide and do all that, but won't they get eaten after the podcast?
No. We're going to stay off the coast. We're not going on the island. We're going to fly a drone over. I saw India said it's cool as long as you get a license from them.
Yeah, and I did the research today. A blow dart can only go 100 feet. So.
Yeah, look at that.
All right. Well, I've got some family that has governmental connections, so we can get all the permitting done and all that kind of stuff. If that's what you want to do.
Yes, please.
It'd be much more impressive if we were out there and then ran for our lives after the podcast was over.
Manny's saying we. I think he wants to go too.
I'm in, bitches. Sorry, ladies or whatever.
It's a lady.
Yeah. Another plane ticket. Another $2,000 on the roster.
No, it's the high one. I'm getting the flatbed.
All right.
Oh, lay down flight. Yeah, these are like economy that I looked up.
Yeah, we got chicken coops with us in the back.
You guys are young. My back would never survive it.
Have you ever seen the movie The Green Inferno, Manny?
No.
Okay. Branden got me to watch this movie, and it's about cannibals eating people, right? This could possibly happen to Branden and Chuck when they go out there. It's not pretty what they did to Jonah or any of the other kids that they took in this movie. So I'm just saying, it's all fun and games here on the show, but you get out there, that motor breaks, that canoe drifts, the waters take you to the island, you get a blowgun shot into your neck, you're passed out. Next thing you know, you're on a large rock with a man that's painted black, that's got bull horns through his nostrils, gets ready to chop off your arm so the village could eat you after they cure your body with salt. Just let me know how that goes. I mean, it was not. Watch that movie before you go, Chuck.
We're not going to drift to shore. We're not going to go. We're going to jump off the boat before that happens.
We're going to make sure the boat has a good engine. We're going to check it.
Well, we better have 2 engines. We need 2 engines.
Back up.
They swim too, by the way. They know
they don't.
Chuck's going to have an electric guitar. He can beat the hell out of him with it.
Get away with that blow dart. I have a guitar.
Well, they can't blow and swim. They can't blow and swim.
Oh, they say yes, they can. They can
They're
blow.
not that agile.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they can. I watched the movie. They can do all that stuff.
Not in deep
blow
water.
dart you underwater.
Your boyfriend said you can blow and swim. Why can't they?
Not a torpedo. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to be excellent.
All right. Well, Manny, I don't want to be held liable for this. This was not my idea, and I'm not telling them to go. So just you and Pew Pew as my witness.
Just get him to sign a waiver.
Yeah, it would make me feel better if Manny went. I think he knows the lay of the land a little better. He can help us out.
Eat well until we got eaten.
Well, if I'm them, I'm eating him first because I don't like the white meat on a turkey. I like
they're gonna have us all tied up. We're gonna wake up and Manny's in their garments, and he's like, "Sorry guys,
their god.
I had to jump on. I had to jump on the other team. I'm gonna feel really bad about eating you guys."
Until the video surfaces with me having blackface on or something out there, and then
the robe.
You're gonna be the only attorney representing all of North Sentinel Island.
You're going to find out when you're behind these bamboo bars that he went to high school with the leader of the cannibal tribe.
Manny, Arona, is that you? Yeah. Oh my God. You sound good. Enjoy us for dinner. We're having the two white boys.
We're having
Good
good friends.
They have some special handshake. You're like, what the hell is going on? Like, a hoobada, 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 ha, a hoobada, 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 ha. They're like, what the? Sorry, fellas. They're going to eat you guys. These cannibals. He's a good dude. He was fullback on our football team. Really good.
I tried to talk to them, but they're just not listening. They're real hungry.
They got extra siracha. They got to use it up.
Benny, you remember that one time we dismantled that child? Yes, yes. I'm just sounding. All right. Let's get to some Manny emails here. All right. I've been asked specifically to not name a name for this first one. So I'm not going to name any names for any of them, but the first one in particular says, do not say this because I'm not a bad person. This is not who I truly am. Hi, Manny. I'm a veteran, and currently I work defense contracts in the SO community. What does that mean, Chuck?
Special operations.
Special operations. Brandon, is that your, like, what is that noise? Has to be coming from Brandon's house.
Is it?
It's like an AC unit or something?
No, I don't have AC.
I got a
don't have AC.
office.
What do you have?
I have a refrigerator in my office with some beers in it.
Wow. All right. Anyway, for one of my jobs, I need to access a pretty exclusive military installation in California. In order to access unescorted, I need to have a clean record. Unfortunately, after I left the Marine Corps, I did register a little bit of contact with law enforcement. I once was arrested leaving a bar with a pocket knife. I was charged with public intox and carrying a weapon. Because I was witnessed leaving an establishment that sells alcohol, the charge is the same for a small pocket knife or semi-automatic pistol in my waistband. I had that charge expunged. I later racked up some charges when I confronted my now ex-wife's paramour for felony terroristic threatening and aggressive assault. What does that mean? Wife's paramour?
Her lover.
The boyfriend.
Oh, is that what that means?
She's having an affair
Paramour,
with
lover,
the
whatever.
Did the
And
band come
terroristic
first?
threats, and it's aggravated assault. It's not the other two things.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Pew Pew. So there's a band called Paramore that just means lover, or right?
Well, and they actually, so the band spells a little different. So it's like Paramore as opposed to the Paramore is spelled with an O-U-R instead of like O-R.
Well, there's a city in Orlando called Paramore. I got a friend, Paramore Brown. He's over the house the other day. Hello. And he's Paramore Brown. Anyway, I took a plea bargain for misdemeanor terroristic threatening, and the ag assault charge went away. Now, while I thought all these things were done and dealt with, the background report pulled for me to access base are all NCIS reports that don't show disposition. Now I live in Cali. All these instances were in Arkansas. Is there a way I can clear my NCIC report? And if I cannot, can I hire a lawyer to access all these dispositions and resolutions, including the expungement? And how much should that cost? Please, Jason, do not use my name.
You can get it all done. They just need a lawyer in Arkansas to go pull the files from the clerk's office to show us all reduced so we can get the thing updated. And you could just, go to any law enforcement agency and get all that stuff changed. NCIC just means it's a federal background check versus in every state. In our state, it's called GCIC's Georgia Criminal Index check. Then there's a National Criminal Index check. And so it all feed into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have a conviction in a state, a number pops up on the NCIC. And then you have to look up that number to see what the charges are in the state. So if you don't do all the work and some clerk forgot to do the paperwork, cases will look open, look like felonies when they've been reduced to misdemeanors. Expungements may not show up. So it's a pain in the ass to do, but it can be done. I would budget like $5,000 to $6,000 to get it all done because it is a pain in the ass to do it if it's not done contemporaneous to when you actually take these charges. So I would call the lawyer that helped you out. That person should probably know Arkansas law pretty well, to get that straightened out.
Huh. Pew Pew, would you have said the same thing?
Yeah, the only thing I'd add is that
damn.
What it is going to turn on a little bit is what the Arkansas law has to say about that. Because in Georgia, it can be kind of difficult to get something expunged, whereas in some other state, it may be easier. But yeah, no, that's about right.
He's one of those guys, huh, Manny? He just can't let it go. He's always going to add
Never
on.
let it go. It's always something extra you can say. You know what? This meat tastes great, but man, just a little sprig more of salt. Just let it go.
Right.
Because you think it doesn't mean you got to say it, my brother.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. It's just like, just let it go. Just keep it quick. My wife's like that too. All right, here we go. Hey, Manny, please don't judge me please don't judge me, but here's the story. Last month, my mother-in-law, who hates me, came over to the house We got into this stupid argument over her son, my husband, and his clothes. So I guess her son is her husband, but they're close. She'd been drinking and threw a lava lamp at my head. It almost hit my... Did somebody laugh at that? A lava lamps hurt. It almost hit my son, so I picked up a bag of apples and hit her in the face. It actually broke her nose. She's now trying to bring assault charges on me. Isn't this self-defense?
Absolutely self-defense. But who the hell has a bag of apples just hanging around? That's the bigger question I want to know. So tell her to call me. That is a straight-up self-defense. Throwing a lava lamp is serious stuff because that could burn the shit out of you, if not kill you, if you get hit properly.
Well, you know it's not real lava.
Apples is a big deal.
You know it's not real lava.
I know, but it's still hot.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah,
More importantly, this
this
case had to have happened in the 1980s because someone had a lava lamp. Like
set the house on fire with a shag carpet.
The statute of limitations is clearly up.
So
self-defense, absolutely.
My husband, Mr. Brady, came over with his friend, the Partridge Family, and they threw a lava lamp.
What I want to know what her husband has to say. Does he take the mom's side or her side?
I don't know. I have a bag of apples in my house. It's not that odd. I don't think.
Bag of apples?
Yeah, we got a bag of potatoes.
When you get a bag, don't you open it and put them in the bowl or eat them or something? You just leave them in the bag.
Oh,
and was this fight in the kitchen? Because that's what I like.
A lava lamp in the kitchen.
I don't.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Lava lamps are back in. I had to throw one away. It broke, but I had a Star Wars lava lamp. They're back in.
He said, Manny, it's not real lava.
You told me something I didn't know about myself.
That's the best line I've ever.
There's a guy in Hawaii just putting the shit into jars and then selling it.
It's just standing at the end of the volcano. I'm going to make so many lava lamps.
Well, he's like, you're going to get burned. I'm like, in order to throw, you have to unplug it, right? Yeah. So I didn't know if you knew it was lava or not. All right, here's the last one. Yo, Mad Dog. I'm getting drug charges pressed against me, but it's not my fault. Yes, I do drugs, but because I have kids, I don't do them in the house. Anyway, my wife and I just bought a new house, and I guess the people that lived here before used to grow weed. I had no idea, so the cops came over for an unrelated issue and found some plants in the backyard. Can I get in trouble for this? That's a good question.
No, because they have to prove that you actually did all those kinds of things. And the bigger question is, how in the world did they get in your backyard if the cops are supposed to come to the front door to talk to you? So did you let them in? Was there more to the story as far as that goes? But no, if it's a couple of plants, it's going nowhere, especially if it's in the back and growing wild. Now, if it's perfectly groomed and there's nice little, rows of stuff, you might have a problem. But otherwise, most people wouldn't be able to know a marijuana plant from just the green stuff that's growing out in the sort of jungly area before you hit the woods. So
if I just throw some seeds or scatter plants randomly in my backyard, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to be able to prove your ignorance.
Sweet. I can prove that all day. I don't know nothing.
That's a no-brainer. To prove that Brandon's ignorant. Pew Pew, do you agree with everything Manny said?
I agree. No additions.
Why would you not add something? You had the opportunity.
Well, you gave me grief last time about it. I figured I'd keep it tight this time.
You need to become your own man and stand your ground and not listen to other people, especially some dummy like me. If you've got something to say, you should say it.
Well, no. It was just 30 minutes ago. Oh, I'm the finest mind in the whole wide world. How are you going to turn around and call yourself a dummy?
Are you talking about me saying that? I said I didn't say that. I said I was the most brilliant mind, one of the most brilliant.
Brilliant.
See, here's the thing. If you're going to quote people, you got to get it right. It's like a safe up here. I remember everything, so it's like, you got to get that right. But do you agree with what Manny just said about the weed stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if it's just growing out in the backyard, you didn't put it there, you didn't know it was there. Absolutely. That's not your plant, not your problem.
Are you a weed smoker?
No.
No. Have you ever smoked weed?
I've been around the block.
Okay. Yeah. See, we just come out and say it, because now it makes me question that you're in other drugs. So you should just say, yes, I've partaken in weed and I enjoyed it, but I'm not doing that anymore because I'm a lawyer.
I've smoked a little weed in my day.
Okay. I mean, Manny used to sell it. So, back when he was a kid, he was one of the biggest drug dealers. And where in India are you from?
North Sentinel Island.
The islands.
North Sentinel Island? South Sentinel.
Oh, Andaman?
South Sentinel.
That's where they're eating people. Everybody's got the munchies.
He's a South Sentinel Island guy. He's not a North Sentinel Island. They didn't like each other. They split off back in the 1700s. It was a totally different thing. All right. Well, those are your questions. Pew Pew, what's your personal life like? You married? What?
Now, single, looking to mingle if you know anyone.
Ooh, not like that.
That's it. I wake up, I come to work, I go home, hang with some friends, living life.
What do you do for you into chicks, right? What do you do for chicks?
Go out and find them. What else is there?
Does the lawyer title help now? Does the lawyer title help?
I'll tell you what, my prospects have gotten a lot better since I've gotten a prestige job.
Oh yeah, you got some
money. A lot easier to sell lawyer than broke college student.
Yeah. Branden, tell them how to do it. Tell them about all the apps that you're on, the Grinder, the Meet Me's, and
Yeah, bars are a great time to lie to people, man. You can be whoever you want, whatever, just tell them whatever story you need to. But if you got a lawyer behind you, you're good. Just be like, yeah, man, we're, doing that Young Thug case. They'll know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I'm on some of the apps and they're always asking about Young Thug this, Young Thug that. And I say, I got nothing to do with that.
What apps are you on? What apps are you
on? I'm on Hinge mostly.
Hinge. Manny, did you know that your new attorney is out there scavenging on Hinge?
I didn't even know what Hinge was. I know I've heard of Bumble and the hookup one where you can find like a chick 10 feet away from you to have sex. So what's that one called?
Farmers Only?
Right swipe, left swipe one.
Tinder.
That's it.
No.
And I'm sure there's Jew Date, Farmer this, Black People Meet.
Yeah.
Farmers Only. That's the one I want to be on.
Yeah.
Well, you into cows?
I'm into farmers.
Man, there's country girls to take care of you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to have a line, man. You're like, hey, look, I'm Pew Pew and I'm ready to do your hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
I'm updating the bio tonight. That's it.
Yeah. Like, they'll be like, what? You'd be like, I go by Pew Pew. I do law for a living. I work for the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora at the Aurora Law Firm. We're doing a case now with this Indian doctor that's been accused of diddling some women, but don't worry, we'll get him out of there because it's not true. But, I'm bringing in the big bucks now. So looking for a lady to be in my life, but they call me Pew Pew and I like to do the hoo-hoo. Give him a little.
See, now I'm going to be saying that to him all the time. I'll probably get some kind of sexual harassment issue or hostile work environment thing.
Good thing we don't have HR in this office.
That's a great
neither do we.
Oh, yeah. My wife's HR. Remember? We made her HR. Yeah. She just doesn't know what's going on. So anyway, well, Manny, I think you got a good one here with Pew Pew with Nathan. I think he's going to be a huge asset here. Now, what's your plan? Are you going to be with Manny I don't want you just dipping in, learning, getting the stuff, and then getting out. You got to be there for a while.
Absolutely. No, and that is my plan. I think, and I've been here, it'll be 2 years in January.
Oh.
And the amount of learning and growth and opportunity that I've gotten working for the Mad Dog has been just phenomenal. And I want to continue, learning and growing and getting groomed by him,
Wait, how wet, there with that?
How wet is your ass right now, Manny? That was the biggest.
I'm used to it. It's good.
Yeah. I bet he walks in that place like he's the boss. It's like, there's the Mad Dog. Do the people call him Mad Dog at work, Pew Pew?
No.
Oh, you gotta get that started.
Yeah, you gotta get that started. Get it going.
Were you there when that girl was there that represented Little Dirk?
No, I wasn't. Little Dirk. She worked for us. Yeah, really, really nice lawyer. Very, very attractive. She was here for about 4 years before she moved on.
Moved to where? Did you not finish your sentence?
No, I think we were all just kind of. What is she? I've never seen her. How do you know this, Branden? How do you know this girl was attractive and used to work there?
She's all over Instagram. That's how I know her.
Yeah. We talked about it.
What does she do now?
She's a lawyer, but she just works for herself because she's has a lot of connections in the rap stuff. Because, like you said, people come here, they use and learn, and you get them involved in bigger cases. You put them out there, you promote them because you're thinking they're going to stay and it's going to help the firm. But unfortunately, they take that publicity and skedaddly do, and that's just the circle of life in the legal business.
I know. Dude, trust me, been there. She jobbed you. That's all. I got it. Yeah. She hot, Chuck?
I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's like next
Yeah,
level.
yeah. Come on now.
What's her name?
You should have seen her walking out of the courtroom.
Yeah, that's next level, man.
Walking out of the courtroom.
Ask Chuck.
That's out of the courtroom like that.
No,
No,
not
not
that
in
one.
those
Not that
games,
one.
no
She
way.
wore like a black dress.
Oh,
Brandon, who am I looking for?
Type in Lil Durk's lawyer, hot lawyer.
that's
Amazing.
what I
It's like I don't even
that's what I
show up.
typed
And I
in.
handled a case and I don't even show up anymore. It's
That's
unbelievable.
funny. That's funny. Pew Pew had to follow her up. That sucks, dude. That sucks so bad. Like she left and everybody's all excited. Then Pew Pew walks in and they're like, "Oh,
Name
God.
Nicole Morgan.
Mormon.
Mormon.
This is what happens when I don't do socials. Nobody even knows I handled a case and got it dismissed. It's just sometimes it's a little frustrating.
Did you
Oh,
say-
that was you?
Did you say next level? She's not that attractive.
The one I saw was.
She's
I never said next level.
she's a big. I mean, she's a little big.
Are you being
She
serious?
got more cushion for the pushing, but she ain't big. Come on now.
No.
I mean, but what I'm saying is like she's not ugly by no stretch, and I'm sure she's a very nice young lady. But I'm saying she's not all that. I mean, she's
pretty hot,
he's
dude.
a
What are you, gay?
lawyer.
she's a she's a bigger girl. Now, when she was in Belize back in 2022, I think she was better.
That's about when it was, wasn't it?
No, the
That's
dark
when she
thing was
first
like
started.
29. It was before COVID.
So Manny, did you have more to do on that case than she did?
Of course, I'm the main person that they hired. You know.
Oh
to
my
do all that
God.
stuff.
So
But
why when I Googled Little Dirk's lawyer, she's the only one that comes up.
because it's into social media. I don't do any of that social media stuff, and
Oh,
she does,
man.
and it was a big
'Cause
deal. She assisted.
You got to start
very well
doing
in
that, man. Go to the
Manny
beach,
went
have
in
your
a
taco
sundress.
meat hanging out. Yeah,
Well, I
we gotta
try to
get-
keep
yeah,
a
we gotta
low
get Manny to-
profile and
get
let
some
the-
pictures all
sundress.
oiled up, like it's just like flexing
Yeah.
on the beach. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, that Manny guy is her."
Well,
is her
guys, the
attorney."
more of that stuff I do, the more their name gets out there. People don't want that out there, especially when it's negative. So you try to have a low profile. But I'm just in the other generation. You know, I'm with the style that you don't want to put your business out there. Let's handle it quietly, discreetly. Like there's so many basketball players and football players we've helped you've never heard of getting in trouble. They might be big names, but that's why they come to us is discretion. We need
2017.
to promote everybody, like whatever. Like I'm representing Jason Bailey. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
Jason doesn't want his shit out there.
2017, she was good.
That rabbit hole's deep.
Around that
And
time.
it's funny because no matter how far you go down, Manny's nowhere. Like, that's crazy. I only Googled one thing, like who represented Little Dirk, and I hit images, and it's just all her.
You didn't type in little, did you? You put LIL, right?
I don't know. I
You
in
put in little.
Dirk.
You
He's
typed
little.
LITTLE.
What is it? How do you spell it?
LIL, Chuck.
Google knew.
That's not even right. You got to put a little thingy after the L.
Apostrophe?
Yeah, a little thing.
He said astrophy.
An astrophe. Yeah, an astrophe. You got to put an astrophe after the L, dummy.
Sharpest minds in the world, right there.
Right here on this podcast each and every day. Yeah. All right. Manny, Pew Pew, I want you to hang out for this. This is a very fun segment we do. It's one question with Brandon. Here we go. Brandon, are you ready?
Yeah.
One question with Brandon.
Always a mind-blowing question. Manny Arur, the Arur Law Firm, and his new attorney, Pew Pew, will be joining us. Brandon, your one question is what?
All right. What would be better for the world? Not for you or like your family or anything, but what would be better for the world? To cure cancer or to end world hunger?
All right. Manny, would you like to start us off?
I'd go with hunger.
Hunger. All right. Let everybody die of cancer. Pew Pew.
See, I'm thinking I'm going cancer.
I'm going cancer. Yeah. All right. You got a Clinton meets Matthew McConaughey meets John
Gotta
Wayne.
get the thumb going, you know.
I'm saying, I know you said you're going to cure few. I'm going to cure cancer right there. Why cancer? Why you had somebody die of cancer you know of? It's very close to you.
No, nothing like that. But I think I don't know. I think that the cancer is real bad. And there's all, and I think that there's
Brilliant.
I think there's
Breaking news.
I got to rethink this higher.
Expansive solution.
Great.
Well, see, when I first thought of it, I thought of you got hungry people that also have cancer. So you got to think about that too. Hungry cancer people.
Manny, you might have to worry about the day that he gets in the courtroom and he goes up and starts deposing somebody or whatever the case may be, and he starts using words like bad and good. Man, you killed 20 children in an elementary school. Yuri, do you understand how bad that is? Chuck, cancer, or this isn't one of your better questions. It's more kind of like legit. But anyway, Chuck, what do you got?
I mean, cancer's real bad.
but starving, that's bad too.
I'm gonna go the route, and I don't know. It's a question and a question. I don't know the numbers here, but I'm guessing. What does the world spend more money on? Does it spend more money on cancer research, or does it spend more money on trying to feed the hungry people around the world? I'm guessing.
Well, I know
there's more money being spent on cancer research. Therefore, I'm going to say, let's cure cancer. That way we can channel some of those funds into feeding the rest of the world, which therefore would get rid of world hunger, and you're killing two birds with one stone. You can't use money and throw it at cancer and say, it's gone, we fixed it. But you can with world hunger.
I bet you there's more federal money, tax money being spent on trying to cure cancer than private or public money being spent to end world hunger. That's like one of those things where it's like, hey, donate $5 and you can feed this kid. Here's a picture of him, the one with the mosquito on his face.
Stupid.
Well, I know they don't make any money off people being hungry. They ain't got to spend money. But if they cure cancer, then they don't make no money. So that's where they're like, oh shit.
And here's the other thing is that we're never trying to raise money to feed hungry people in the United States, which should not be a thing, by the way. We're always trying to raise money to feed, Nuck and his family over in Africa, and get them mosquito nets and tampons. But we're never trying to feed our own people. It was like some years ago, I think it was 60 Minutes did this special, and it like blew people's minds in Central Florida that it had all these kids on there, like in Orlando, that were talking about not eating for days, but they would go to school and they wouldn't tell anybody. And, like they go to school and they just look like everybody else, and nobody had any idea that these kids weren't eating, right? So here's the thing. Here's my answer to you. I already think cancer is cured.
Yeah.
Is this the trick part of the question? You always have a little tricky dicky in there. So
yeah, I want to go into a rabbit hole after this.
Okay, so I already think cancer is cured. I mean, I could sit here and tell you it would sound like a commercial for ozone therapy, but rejuvenating cells in the process of doing that, there are ways to reverse cancer cells outside of a miracle cure for different types of cancer. Like, I think we all have the cancer gene in us anyway, and there's something that's going to trigger it. And there is some truth to that, by the way. So that is going to be what it is. Like, cancer will never be eradicated. It's always going to be a thing because it's population control. Now, food can be controlled by us. Feeding somebody, seeing somebody hungry, give them a sandwich, right? That kind of thing. So I'm going the food route. I think the cancer route is too much of an uphill battle, and you have too many powerful people that would knock you down. But I think you can control making sure people don't go without food. So I'm going hunger. And that's the reason for it, which, by the way, if I do say so myself, was a brilliant explanation.
Real quick, Brandon, just so you know the numbers. Cancer, the United States spends $183 billion on cancer research a year, and it's only $166 billion for hunger. So
where are they sending it to? Who's hungry?
They're in the fight against hunger in the world. I'm guessing to like these third world countries, things like that. We're sending all this money to them to grow crops in the middle of Africa or whatever. But that's actually kind of interesting that they're that close in cost, because I thought it was going to be way more for cancer, but it's actually kind of close.
Should I like feeding them with like guns and missiles?
here's your 7,000 AK-47s and a bottle of ketchup.
And go get your fucking food, bastards. Go to this country over here.
And here's the thing is, like, what do? We drop off bags of rice. We drop off crops where you can't grow anything where they're at. Open up like a sweet tomatoes, where it's the all-you-can-eat buffet, the salad bar or something. I mean, like, and just make it civilized where they can go get food, grocery store, Dollar Tree. I've always wanted to put a Dollar Tree in Africa. Absolutely crush. Dollar trees in third world countries would crush. I'd make so much money. I've always wanted to put, every time we went to go down to the Bahamas, I always said, I'm going to put a Dollar Tree in here. It would sell water goggles for $1.
Dollar Trees already earn basically third world parts of our country. So,
right?
You go to a rat hole town, there's a Dollar Tree.
Oh,
you're pretty good.
Whatever, a lot of dollars.
Dollar Tree's always next to what? Liquor store, a jerk me off massage parlor, a nail salon. They're always part of that like shady type of part of the plaza. Tax collector,
check cashing place.
Yeah,
check cashing place.
Check cashing place. Yeah, it's always always next to that, and then right across the street, Walmart and a church.
That's all you need, baby.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, you think cancer's been cured?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, they make a lot of money off people. I remember my grandpa had cancer. We got one of the cancer hospitals down here in Noonan, in the southeast. Woohoo, yeah, cancer, beat it, whatever. But no, I think if they wanted to beat it, they could, but they just make too much money off it.
So cancer is not cured, but you can cure your cancer. There's a difference.
Yeah,
there's a difference. So, there's so many different. I'm learning about like the cell rejuvenation, because of what we're doing, and the different therapies. I mean, ozone. People with cancer are using ozone therapy. And I know this again sounding commercial for our new spa, but people with cancer are using ozone therapy on top of their chemotherapy, and some replacing it. Now, I'm not saying it cures it, but it rejuvenates your cells. It lets your body, and that's a lot with this, a lot of the holistic medicine is what it does. That's why insurance isn't covering it most of the time, because it works. Our bodies are so powerful. If we can do things to have our body repair itself, it's like our immune system on steroids. You know what I mean? So our bodies can repair ourselves. We're like robots. We just have to find therapies to do that. Drugs are not the answer. All the time. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Like medical, like not the stuff you're doing, the roofies, whatever it is you're doing. Brandon said they're overdosing on roofies. Like, oh, Bailey told me to rejuvenate my cells.
He said drugs. He didn't say which ones.
He forgot to tell me which drugs to do it. All right.
So we're letting the cancer people die is what we're saying.
Yeah, man, that's what Manny wants to do. He's a sponsor. We're going with Manny. That's what he wants to do. Pew Pew, when you leave Manny and get the Pew Pew law firm, then we'll agree with you. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. When is your first like by yourself thing going to be?
I don't know. We'll see what walks in the door.
Would you
want to come and watch?
Would it fucking kill you to give me a straight answer? I mean, just
I've got one client. I've done some stuff for him, and
he's got an argument before the Georgia Supreme Court coming up. It was supposed to be this week, but we have this trial, so it got pushed because the trial bumps it. So
Jesus.
He should have it in January sometime.
Here, what I've done for the past 30 years, I can teach you a lesson on omitting words that don't need to be said. So don't forget about foreplay and just get right to the fucking. All right. So all this, omit words like basically, well, however, those words, get them out of your vocabulary. Go straight to the fucking. All right. 2024. Nobody's got time for, the foreplay.
Can you just tell them, please, for God's sakes, for the love of Pete, don't ever say long story short.
Long story short, or at the end of the day, get rid of those phrases,
I like for the most part. That's a good one. For the most part.
Per our conversation. Just right to the point. And you know what? If you think about it, here, I'll also give you an improv lesson. By the way, this is free. So you don't have to pay for it. But and this will help you out when you're either having a conversation with anybody or if you're in the courtroom. It's the art of filing 5 things. So if I were to say to you right now that within 60 seconds, you have no time to think. You have to start when I'm done talking, you have to start. In 60 seconds, show me you're at the beach. Go. Without saying a word. Go. Okay. So with that, what you would do is you have to train your brain to automatically think of the topic of what I'm asking you to do, beach. Mm-hmm. So think of 5 things that deal with a beach. Sand in my eyes, suntan oil, pigeons, sandcastle, surfboard, beach towel, all these different things. And you would then act them out. But you train your brain to grasp on to the primary of the conversation. And then that branches down. It's called the filing of 5 things. You learn that in Improv 101. So if somebody were to have any conversation, that's how I can do what I do and I can go to 4 other different people, and I've had bigger rooms than this, is I will grab onto what people say and I will expand it based off of what I find the most important or the most thought evoking for the audience. You see what I'm saying? And the answer is always yes. It's never no, because once it's no, it stops. So if somebody were to have a conversation with you and you answer no, there's nothing more to talk about.
Mhm.
Right? You got to say yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Yes, Lord Bailey.
Yeah. Yes, Lord Bailey. Those kinds of things. Manny, you want me to come in and do a TED Talk or something?
Couldn't hurt.
I need some media training, and I think you might be the guy.
Oh God.
Doesn't anybody have to pee?
I helped Manny at the beginning, and
now look at me.
And there's attorneys here in Orlando that Chuck is, oh God, if anybody needs it, that fucking guy up there needs it.
I'm not doing any media work.
Yeah. What do you think this is?
Well, you know what I mean? This doesn't count because
I'm not in the media, man. I don't do no media.
Hey, Pew Pew, man, I think you're doing great. I like the words you throw in there for smartness. It really helps me.
I appreciate how Chuck deflects.
Yeah, Chuck's half vagina, so he uses a lot of chick talk, so he likes all that fluff, that.
Yeah. As I was saying,
yeah,
Pew Pew, you're doing a phenomenal job. And to make a long story short, I like you, man. I like you.
Thank you, Chuck. I like the foreplay.
Oh, come on. Not just to make it gay. Like, see, I was just trying to
Well,
give you a compliment.
And
then
you cut out the foreplay and we're engaging it.
Well, still.
Too close to foreskin.
Damn it.
Too close. Too close.
Just real close, Brandon. Just like that close to the foreskin.
I could almost taste it.
All right, let's get out of here. TheAuroraLawFirm.com. Thank you so much, Manny, as always. Pew Pew, it was great having you on. Come on anytime. It was a lot of fun. You're a great punching bag, so it was a lot of fun. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck. For everybody listening, living rent free, the promotion has started. If you want your month of rent or mortgage paid, I'm living rent free in people's minds. There's no reason why you shouldn't be living rent free. Go to thebaileyshow.com and enter. Thanks to Inspect All Pest Services. Give us a like, share, follow on all social media, like our YouTube channel. And by the way, the living rent free thing, you have to be a subscriber. Make sure you're reading the rules. If you enter and you win, your email address that you signed up to subscribe to this podcast has to match the email address that you are entering into the contest. Very important, right? All right, Brandon, you got anything before we get out?
Yeah, man, damn old good Tuesday or damn Wednesday, whatever day it be. I got damn old Mustang. It'll be running here soon. Vroom, vroom.
All right, stop talking there. Chuck, what do you got? Anything?
Dumbest thing I've ever heard is Brandon do a Southern accent that he thinks he doesn't already have.
And Pew Pew, do you have anything?
Go Dogs, free our doctor.
Oh, go Dogs and free our doctor. That's good. All right. And the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, do you have anything before we get out?
2 more weeks of trial and then smooth sailing.
Yeah. And then you got to deal with Pew Pew for the whole time. Seems like a little bit of an uphill battle for you, my friend. All right.
Subscribe at thebailyshow.com.
Yeah, baby.